So as it happens, I am a dingus, and I did need those foot joints. So I am going to, just really quick, show you how to remake those if you're dumb and you deleted them to begin with. Or because I told you to, in which case you're not dumb, you were just doing what I told you to. So I'm just going to do, how did I label these? What was my convention? It was FK first. Alright, so FK, right, ball. Let's duplicate that. IK right ball, and get rid of that stupid 1. Get rid of the 1. So I'm just duplicating this from the bind skeleton, Shift P to unparent it, and just do FK, just rename it, whatever you need to rename it. Alright, don't forget to also delete whatever weird constraints are under here. They don't hurt anything, they're just sort of gross, and you don't need them there. So I'm going to go ahead and just expand all of my... Oops, this is my IK handles. I will expand all of my joints from before. So these are my IK FK joints, like the weird floating ones. And I'm just going to grab like the FK left ball and throw that under the FK left ankle. And do the same thing for all of the other ones. So IK ball goes under the IK ankle. And continue doing that. So if you screw up and you forget a joint, it's not the end of the world. It does just make a little bit of extra work for yourself, and I do apologize for telling you to delete those if you actually did delete those. But you can add them back. It's very, very simple. Alright, so I'm just gonna turn on my FK visibility really quick and turn off the visibility of my bind skeleton, and in this case, hide some things. So I'm gonna make sure that this control for the FK foot is attached to this ball with an orient constraint. So that should be good to move that around, and do the same thing here. I'm just sort of hiding things in my outliner because I can't see what the heck I'm doing. Constrain the other constraint also to the joint there. You will notice that it did tack on some weird rotation here. In this case, it's not really part of an IK chain. I'm just going to kind of leave it as it is for now and hope that like nothing explodes. The toes or the end of the joints are usually like pretty zen in terms of not exploding, but we'll see how that actually goes. So the next thing that we need to do is go back into our node editor. Again, guys, sorry. It's a node editor, and I'm just going to clean all of this nonsense out. And we just need to hook up the ankles, and everything else are already hooked up. We just need to do the ball joints for everything. So I'm gonna expand my pelvis. So I'll start with the left ball because I have it. So grab the FK, grab the IK, and grab the controller for that. Let's see here, tack those in. And so we have the ball. FK is gonna be, again, color 2. And we are just going to P to pin all of these, tab, blend, colors, hooray. Grab the switch. Grab switch from somewhere, wherever they put the thing. Alright, IKFK switch into blend. IK rotation into color 1, and FK rotation into color 2. I don't know how I put that down there, but apparently I did. So let's see here, output, and just chuck that into the rotate of your bind skeleton. So that should be good to go. I have gone and hooked up all of the joints so that they actually follow along with things, so that's fun and functional. Alright, so grab the right ball, the FK ball, and the IK ball, and also the little controller. Pop the node editor back up. I'm just going to clean everything out, or add some stuff back in, grab these, unpin them, and just hit the negative button to only get rid of those. And lay things out the same way I did before. I find with this, it's very important for me personally to just keep and organize. Like if I put this on the top for the IK, it is always going to be on the top. Again, just because the node editor can get absurdly messy. So I'm just going to go ahead and P to pin all of this. So switch, IKFK switch, again into Blender. I'm sure you guys all wanted this recap. I do apologize for this. Grab the rotate from IK, goes in color 1, rotate from FK, automatically into color 2, and output into the rotate of your ball. So that should be hooked up pretty much and ready to go. And let us, once again, just hide all that. I don't really want to look at that right now. I will unhide my regular skeleton and just set this to, I think right now it's on IK. So I'll set this to FK and just double check that if I rotate this and I turn my skin on, it should be doing something, but it's not. Oh, okay, cool. So apparently 0 is FK. Whoopsie. So 0 to FK, so I'll just go ahead and 0 that out. And okay, so remember that fun value of -180? Apparently that does affect things. So I should go back and like actually fix that. But for this leg, it is still not working. Okay, now it's working. Okay, so this one is 0. That's my eyes nuts. Okay. But yeah, so now we have like a nice little swappy thing for that. And I'm going to just really quick pop back in there and fix that stupid joint rotation. Haha. Alright, so where were those IKFK joints that I just hid? Alright, so this is the left leg, so I'm just going to go ahead. Yes, I don't need the hip. I don't need any of the stuff on the right. I'm just going to turn off my base skeleton and find the orient constraint for this, for the ball joint, delete that, set this back to 0, please, and then hope, you know what, I'm gonna do a parent constraint with rotate and just see, haha, take that orient constraint, which is apparently being evil for me today. So I should be good now, and this will not flip insanely. And again, anytime you make changes to your switch, it is a good policy to just sort of toggle back and forth, make sure there's no like weird flipping, or like sometimes the knees will tweak out like a few degrees, and it's just like very annoying. So that should be set up. But in this case, we're good on the FK. Alright, so I'm just going to pop this one back onto IK. I'm just going to turn off the FK controls because I just don't really need to see them. One sort of random tidbit that is kind of, I guess, fun to know. If you label this, so like right now I can toggle, because the FK visibility is named the same on both of these, I can toggle the visibility on or off at the same time. If you were, like I was told when I was in school, this must be labeled like left FK visibility or right FK visibility. If you do that, you have to toggle them both at different times and also type different names. So I find it more efficient to just do it like this without left-right tags for this, because again, if you're selecting only one controller, there's not a whole lot of other options that you can mess with your controllers with. But so what I'm going to show you is how to set up some fun extra functionality, and by extra I mean any functionality, to your IK controls. So one thing you'll notice like right off the bat is, again, as soon as I move this, the foot starts flipping out, which is not what we want in the slightest. So I'm just going to go ahead and unhide this. I only want to be looking at the IK and not the bind skeleton, not the FK handles. It gets a little annoying to look at. So first thing I'm going to do, just grab this controller, grab the ankle joint, and do an orient constraint on that. Just make sure that that's, yep, and it flips all crazy. Fun. Alright, when orient constraints fails you, try a parent constraint, and for some reason that works. Don't ask me why, but it does. I'll take it. So now we can move these, and the foot is going to stay in the correct position. If we want to like give him a little dainty toe wiggle, we can do that. So the next thing that we're going to set up is kind of like a weird sort of thing involving clever grouping, basically. So this is going to be, we're going to make a lot of null groups. So null groups just being have nothing selected, and I'm going to hide my controls because they're annoying, and also I'll leave the skin on. Alright, select nothing, do Control G, it's going to make an extra group, and we're going to call this left heel. And what I'm going to do is actually just go ahead and sort of vert snap that down to, I want to make sure two things. So if I'm looking at this from the side, it should be, if I turn on my grid, I want this to be on the ground, like directly on the ground plane, or as close as I can get it. In this case, I'm just going to hold down X to snap it to the ground plane. And I want it to be sort of close. I hate step snapping. I hate it so much. Snap it to sort of like the back of the ankle. In this case, I did a little bit of a weird job making sure the ankle was like actually attached, but for now, this'll do us fine. All right, so null group, just put it at the back of the ankle, or the heel. And do the same thing, so I'm going to do Control G, and this one I'm going to call left tippy toe, and I'm just going to move that to the front of the toe, like just front on the ground plane. And once again, do another one. So Control G, and I will have to move some of these around. This one I'm actually just going to vert snap directly into that ball joint, and I'll call this left ball. And that is all of the sort of random groups we need for now. One thing I will do that I didn't do previously, so like this one I actually snapped into the right ball joint, which is not quite what I want. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure like this tippy toe is actually sort of, you know, roughly centered in the center of that foot. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it should be just sort of not randomly off on the origin. So we have all of these. I'm actually just going to duplicate these and hide my skin and just vert snap these all over. And just sort of rename them right heel, right tippy toe, and right ball. So we should have, if we look at these, like the same thing for each joint. So we have the ball joint, tippy toe, and the heel. And they're just sort of, again, null groups. There is not supposed to be anything there when you look at those. This is just going to help us give a little bit of extra functionality to the foot, make it a little bit easier to work with when we walk it. If you've played with that weird, like, night rig thing that I've put up, this is the same kind of setup for the foot. So what we're going to do is make another IK handle, but this time we're going to use a single chain solver. So if we go into skeleton, IK handle, just make sure that this is set to single chain solver. Everything else you can leave the same. And we're just going to go from the ankle and click right down to the ball. So this is like, it's not really going to bend anything. It's just sort of like a way. Basically, the point of an IK handle is inverse kinematic. So instead of controlling the ankle and having that move the ball, it's going to control the ball and have that move the ankle. So I'm just going to do that again. So skeleton, IK handle, click from the ankle to the ball. Again, sort of start from the root and move outwards. So what happens now if we move this? It should, you know, theoretically it would move the rest of the ankle. I need to kind of play with some stuff in the outliner to make that actually work. But I will go through and just really quick relabel these. So IK left foot and IK left right foot. All right, so we have all of this nonsense. And now, at this point, all we really need to do, we can just actually go ahead and hide these for now. We're just going to be manipulating them in the outliner. We just need to rearrange all of this nonsense. So what you're going to do is grab the foot IK and put that under the foot ball joint. Grab the ball joint and put that under tippy toe. And tippy toe should go under heel. Now, all of this we are sort of going to attach to the IK foot control itself. But basically your outliner should look something like this, with the heel, then the tippy toe, then the ball, then the IK foot. So I'm just gonna, again, do the same thing for the right foot. Basically, theoretically, that means if I move, I'm just gonna hang on for a second. This like pretty much never works until I hook everything up and it drives me nuts. All right, so let's see here. We have this, and we need now a way to actually attach this to our, I'm just going to make a little group and call this foot controls. So we need a way to attach this to our IK controls here. And you could parent it under in the outliner. I think actually I might just do that because I'm feeling lazy. So I'm just going to grab the left heel, shift collect the IK handle here, and just do P for parent. And then do the same thing here. So grab the right heel, grab the controller, and just do parent, and just delete that random extra group. The only other thing that we need to make sure of at this point is there's like one extra weird thing you sort of need to do, and that is make sure that the ball joint is also attached to your IK foot. or sorry, the IK handle for your leg itself. So like if you move the ankle, if you move this and sort of rotate this upwards, it's going to take that IK handle with it. And there's two ways to do that. You can either take your IK handle and just parent it under this ball joint as well, or you can sort of parent constrain it. In this case, I am actually kind of feeling particularly lazy, so I am going to just grab the, what am I doing? Left IK leg, figure out where the heck you put that ball group, click on that, and just do P, and it'll parent it right under the leg there. And do the same thing for the right leg. So again, you could be doing this with constraints. It doesn't really make super a lot of difference. This is just how I choose to do it today. Where did I put the left ankle, right ankle? Here we go. All right, and just do P to parent that. So theoretically what should happen is at this point, yes, because, wait, what are you doing, Maya? Why have you gone insane? Tippy toe, IK foot control. Okay, interesting. So this is actually like not, or wait, oh! Wait, what have I done? Have I put this into, wait, haha. And haha. Clearly done something very strange here. Ah, yes, okay. I think I've attached things incorrectly, which is always fun. So let me just turn on my FK visibility and make sure that if I rotate this very clearly in a broken way. Okay. Yeah, so I jacked up something when I was hooking up the IK controls to the leg, which is, I think, why this wasn't working. So right now I am set up to be on FK functionality, but you'll notice that the rotation of the foot is still being controlled by FK. So I think what I did is actually attach these incorrectly in the node editor. So what I am going to do, actually, you know what, I'm just going to leave that. Like, these can be rotated, it's not going to hurt anything. Alright, what I'm going to do is save this, because I'm paranoid, save a new version, because I'm even more paranoid, and now I can go back if I need to. Bust out my node editor again, and I just want to look at, I'll click on the IK foot, and just do that little thing that I did earlier, where I, well, first of all, I'm just gonna unpin all of this, and unpin it, clean it, grab this, add that in, and I'm just going to do that thing that I showed you earlier where you just sort of click on this and it expands everything. And that should, if I track it, see we have this this right ankle blend. So I'm going to, hello. I'm going to go ahead and just expand the blend for this and look at what I've attached where. So we do have the FK is going into color 2 for the ankle. And the IK is going into handle 1, which is what we want. The output is going into the right ankle. Okay! That's my usual, this is broken. Perhaps I added an extra constraint somewhere that I shouldn't have. Like here. For some reason I've added this orient constraint, which is attached to the FK ankle control, which I do not want at all. That's terrible. Alright, and actually when I delete that, everything should be zeroed out and in the correct position for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that really quick and just delete this constraint. Haha. Hopefully that fixes whatever the issue was. Alright, so now if I grab the FK ankle, it's still taking this along. That's fun. Why am I moving that? Alright, grab this, rotate this. Okay. So, I'm actually going to try oh, yes. Okay, so this is the IK. And this is the parent constraint. Why did I parent constraint the IK handle? That doesn't make sense. Oh, yes, it does. Okay, sorry. Guys, real-time troubleshooting. Alright, let me look at... Oh, wait, was it... Okay, so that was the bind skeleton that I was looking at here. Okay, why is this... Alright, so the IK ball. Let me look at the FK. What have I done here? So this is the FK. This is to the IK, which is fine. And then the blend, which is somewhere. Right, IK ball. Interesting. Oh, okay, great. So, yes, I have, for some reason, like an idiot, I've put a bunch of orient constraints here from when I had this set up as just FK. So I should delete all of these. The hip I will keep. No, actually, I don't want that either. Okay. Cool. So hopefully this fixes the issue. It does. Huzzah. Okay. So what ended up happening is I put in a bunch of orient constraints on the bind skeleton. I don't know where they came from, honestly, because this was like, remember I was explicitly like, you don't need any constraints on your bind skeleton when you do this triple leg IK-FK switch setup. And then I put constraints on all of them. I probably just selected the wrong thing, which is very easy to do because, frankly, the outliner is disgusting. But now, hopefully, let's see if I can actually show you guys the fun thing that I was trying to show you the entire time. That is a no. Okay, sort of. Great. Kind of. So you can see that we have a little bit of like bending functionality. I've clearly screwed up something else in the way that this is working. So this should be rotating from the heel and sort of taking the rest of the foot with it. But that is not at all what it is doing. So, heel, toe, ball, leg, foot. Okay. Let me... Interesting. Alright, so I think this is like usually... Let me just unparent this really quick and then see if this changes anything. So questionable. Alright, so we have the tippy toe, which is rotating from the wrong spot, and the heel, which is also rotating from the wrong spot. And... what if we just grab... Oh my god, guys, there's so much stuff in here, it's gross. Okay. Joys of rigging. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this ball control. And this is the left one, so I'm going to do a constrain, parent. I'm seeing what was happening if I actually constrain these instead of... There we go. That does the thing that I want. So yeah, I think parenting for some reason for me usually doesn't work. I decided to try something new. So what I did is I took the leg IK handles out from under this ball group and then put them back into just the nothing of the minus, and then I just did a constraint from this ball group to this handle. So I'm going to grab the ball and empty ball group, grab the right IK leg, and just parent constrain that. Now, if I bend this IK ball, it should, you can see it's like bending, I'll total a few more things, but it's bending like at this joint here. And hopefully this will also make the, yep, so we have nice like tippy toe bending functionality, so you can just bend that, do like, look how sassy I am. And because you've positioned the joints nicely, it does a pretty good job of, you know, bending like from the heel and from the toe. If you did something really weird, like, I'm gonna regret this, but if you put the joint out here and then rotated it, you would get, you know, rotation around that pivot point, which is why the positioning of that is actually important. The only other thing that I kind of want to look at is you'll notice that there's two more things. So one, if I bend this ball joint, it's not taking, it's like leaving the rotation of the toes, which is a little bit strange and not quite what I want. So what I'm going to do is just grab this ball joint here, and this may or may not actually be the right thing to do. We'll see. I'm going to do a little constraint. Nope. Okay, that was clearly the wrong thing to do. I was trying to constrain it like I had done previously. Fucking pull vector. Dude. Toe. There's something I need to orient constraint. I just don't remember what it actually is. Let me poke through my giant mess of rigging notes. You can see here's literally just the notes that I copied from when I was at school that I still refer to very, very frequently. So pivot on the ball joint, single chain. Yes, I've done all these things. Ah, yes, great. I forgot that I do need to make a separate toe group, which for some reason came very much later. So what I'm going to do is just duplicate this right ball group, and I'll call it toes, and delete the IK handle from under it because it's just gross and I don't need that. It's also not really doing anything at this point. Hello. Left toes. All right. And then apparently I constrain the toe group to, yes, I orient constrain the joint to the toe group like I was trying to do previously. I just didn't have the toe group and I was like, why? This doesn't make sense. All right. So grab the toes, grab the IK, ooh, hello. Make sure this actual skeleton is turned off, please. Grab the toes, grab the IK skeleton, do a constrain, and for some reason, orient constraints have been nuts, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a parent constraint, and the toes of the right skeleton, and do the same thing. So now, theoretically, if I go and I bend the ball joint, it's going to leave the toes where they are, which is much more reasonable for what I actually want. So that was pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and create some extra little controls for these, and I'll show you how to hook these up so it's easier to animate this and you never need to go into your outliner and find all that crap again, because frankly it's disgusting. So, oh yeah, we should hook up the twist control. That's also a fair point. All right, so what I'm going to do is, first of all, what is this random FK control doing here? Why are you here? Oh, yes, okay, because I've just not turned off my FK. Great. All right, so I want to be able to, again, to control that stuff without going in my outliner. So I'm just going to make some new attributes, go to Edit, Add Attribute, and these, there's enough of them where I like to just sort of make a large, random, sort of spacer thing, basically, which apparently I have to do with underscores. Great. So this just visually separates things. It serves no purpose, it's just there. So what I'm going to do, I will set up my twist constraint. I want that to be a float with no minimum or maximum. Go ahead and add that. And hell roll, heel roll. I kind of want to make like an angry Cinnabon now with like devil horns. So I'll do heel roll, and again, just leave that as with no minimum or maximum. I just want to be able to control these randomly. Why do I keep typing hell? It's rigging, it's subliminal messaging. All right, so heel rub out. Same thing, float, no minimum or maximum. I will do ball, and toe, rub out. All right, so we have all these joints, and they should be applied on both controllers because I put them on to both at the same time. And what I'm going to do now is actually just go in and hook all of this nonsense up. So I will start with the right leg, go into Windows and your connection editor once more, and scroll down, find all your nonsense. All right. So I will start with hooking up the twist of the legs, which I probably should have done before. So grab the IK handle, throw that in, scroll down, find twist. That should be good. If you wanna test it, you just be like, boop, it's twisting. All right. So next, I'm just gonna start with the heel group. So I will grab this right heel group that I made, reload the right, and this. So I'm gonna click on heel roll, and I'm just gonna really quick see if don't worry about the translate values on this. So heel roll, I want to go up and down like this. That is apparently my rotate Z. So what I'm gonna do is scroll down to rotate. You'll notice that rotate itself is grayed out. If I click into it, it's allowing me to choose any one of these axes, or like any you know, pick either X, Y, or Z. I will select Z, and you will notice that if I click this and do heel roll, it is then bending my leg, which is what we want. So pretty much the rest of this is just systematically hooking up. Like heel rub out, I think should be rotation X. And if you hook it up, yes, beautiful, that looks terrible. Yes, if you hook it up incorrectly, like I have just done, that is not how this foot is meant to bend. Just go in, unclick X, it'll unconnect it, and go ahead and click Y, and theoretically that should then do what I was actually hoping for. I should probably figure out why it's dragging the rest of the foot in this way, but I will do that later. But yeah, so the heel rub out should just be sort of... Okay, I can't move that because it's now attached. But anyway, alright. This is going down the line. Next thing I want to do is the ball rotation. Grab that, grab my ball group, and do rotation Z, I think would be that one. And it looks like I had... Okay, interesting. It did a weird thing where it sort of snapped to the joint, which I'm not terribly in love with, honestly. That's a little weird. Let me just turn off... That totally shouldn't have happened. Oh, because I apparently had that rotated a little bit already. So now if I reattach this, it shouldn't pop the skin, which it didn't, which is great. All right, and as you might have guessed, I will do the toe, attach that to the toe group, and again, just rotate Z for the toe. Apparently, what have I done here? Yes, make sure that this is zeroed out. This is why you don't... what have you done? Maya. Okay. Oh, I hate Maya so much. Remember I was like, oh, the constraints are like... The parent constraints are working beautifully, so I'll just use parent constraints. Well, the parent constraints have failed me. So I'm just going to go ahead and zero this whole stupid joint out. And actually, that's a great question. Okay, that actually makes sense. So knee, why do I have orient constraints on my knees for my IK handles? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. As frustrating as this is, I do highly recommend you do it. You will learn a crap ton of a lot about rigging by doing this nonsense. Alright, grab the toe group, grab the joint, and do a constrain. This time I will try orient constraint. Haha, okay, no, because that, you can see it sort of popped the joint down weird, which is... Why? Okay. Just gonna undo that. I will try a parent constraint again, question mark? And that didn't do that, so we should be good. So now, theoretically, when we hook up the rotate Z of the toe, it won't freak anything out. And I should be able to just sort of jiggle that toe really nicely. And the only thing left is to hook up the toe rub out, which is basically just like left and right of the toe. Imagine you were like, I don't know. The only thing I think of is like stamping on like a cigarette or something to put it out and like digging it into the dirt. But, so toe rub out, rotate, and I think this one is Y? This one going crazy? Yeah, okay, so that's still really weird. I'll figure that out later. But now we have this lovely sort of grinding motion we can do. So you can combine a bunch of these and do like, I'm gonna like jiggle this, and I'm gonna like really, what am I doing? Okay, clearly I have hooked something up very, very incorrectly here. Because that's very broken. We'll find out later. Let me make sure that's all zeroed out. Alright, so why is that happening? Let's find out. Alright, so we have, here's the FK, and that makes sense. Why have I parented the IK ball? Oh yes, okay, because I just did that, and that's fine. So the IK ankle is hooked up to, control, and that makes sense. Why does my hip have an orient constraint on it? Oh, right, why does that have an orient constraint on it? That's a great question. That's strange and just shouldn't be there. Oh, okay. That's... What? Alright, let me actually double check a thing. Okay. So what's happening when I move the ball is that it's... And that actually does make sense. So I really need to look at that. So... Ball rotation... Why is this double translating? Because you shouldn't be. It's not a thing that should be happening. You know what, let me actually try. Alright, let me try doing a weird thing. Unparenting that and using the ball to also control the foot. Which I don't think I've ever had to do before, but if it fixes my issues, I will take it. Wait, I wanted heel rub out? No. Okay, that clearly didn't fix it. What the heck? I imagine this will break things, but I'm curious to see what happens. Actually, maybe I hooked up something wrong in my... Let me see what happens if I set this back to F. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Alright, so that was actually fine. Interesting. So one thing I did notice, and I'm just going to fix it while I'm here, is the stupid... you'll notice, like, when I scrub back and forth between the IK and the FK switch, that for some reason things are being displaced from where they should be, which is obviously not ideal. So what I'm going to do is come in and I will do one of two things. I will either delete all of this and restart, or hopefully I can just find the issue. In this case, it seems to be this stupid little partial rotation or whatever that I have on this ankle joint. Hopefully, if I set this all to 0, we will no longer have that, and I will just grab this and reconstrain with a parent constraint, because I'm paranoid now, reconstrain that, and hopefully... Nope. Still get popping. Great. Amazing. Heel ball. Do ankle rotate Z. Toes. Let me just check this. Okay, so that shouldn't hurt anything. So like this one, we don't get the popping. We've also not actually hooked anything up. So I might just sort of come back to that, but it's going to bother me forever now. Alright, so the heel roll is totally... No, that's not totally fine. What is happening here? Something's getting screwy with this. Alright, let me hook this side up actually really quick and see if that does the same thing. Sometimes I've been very, very messy in the way I rig this, so it could be just me being an idiot and hooking things up completely wrong. Definitely not unheard of. Alright, so rotate Z for that, rotate Y for that. Let's try heel roll. What have I done? This is just not working at all now? Question mark? Wait, what have I... Oh, whoops. I grabbed... No, that was what I wanted. What? Oh wait, did I... Is this... Oh, yes. If I actually set that to work on IK, it still doesn't work. Fascinating. Well, while I'm here, I will just hook up the stupid twist for the left leg. Reload. Twist. Now I have... what? Okay. That's fun. Oh, because I'm looking at... No, I'm looking at the IK hip. Interesting. Right. I've done a stupid thing. So this is the right IK ankle control. So I need to go and just unhook that up from everything that I attach that to. So like right now you'll notice that if I do the heel roll for this, it's controlling both because I hooked it up in the wrong spot. That is the one benefit of labeling these with left and right. That being said, I still usually just don't do that. Okay. So what I need to do is go in, find my heel, figure out where the heck the rotation values are, rotate, and just unhook that from everything. Why? What are you doing, Maya? What? Oh my god, I've just unhooked the right side of the... I need the left heel. I'm gonna unclick this to disconnect that, go back to the heel roll, and just click to disconnect that. And X is not connected to anything, so I think at this point, hopefully, we're fine. Probably should have just Control-Z'd all of that. That would have, I think, been much easier. What the actual heck is going on right now? Alright, so I'm just gonna take this ankle constraint. We have two of them for some reason. This is attached to the FK, which I don't know why that is. Again, because I was really sloppy in the way I was doing things, apparently. Kill that parent constraint. And let's do... Alright, so the left side came like, what is happening here? This has been a very, very long and convoluted way to fix anything. Actually, you know what I can do? I can just go into this heel group, and I think I can just do right-click and do break connections. Yes, and that should disconnect it. Oh no. Have I labeled these all wrong? No, I haven't. What? Okay. Now I'm just very confused. Why is the right heel not controlling any of the... Oh no! Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay. Okay. Set these to 0. Click on your left heel. Do break connection on those controls, and I've done that also to this side, so I would like to re-hook up the rub out on and the heel roll on the right side of the figure. Hopefully this is now functioning, at least on the right side of his body. Hooray. Okay. Select controller for left leg, reload this. Select heel, reload that. Heel roll, rotate Y. Heel rub out, rotate Z. Ball joint, I need the ball joint, which is also rotate Z. Toe, grab the toes, also rotate Z. And tippy toes, grab the tippy toe, and that should be rotate Y. My god. Okay. Heel roll. No, I hooked that up wrong. Heel rub out. Should be the heel roll. Oh, I hate rigging. Ball joint does what I want. Toe does what I want. Toe rub out does what I want. Find, once again, your outliner. And by outliner, I do mean connection editor. Okay. Reload, just make sure you're selecting the right thing. Reload the heel. Go to heel rub out. Figure out where your rotation is. Somewhere in here. Rotation. Yes, I have hooked that up very wrong. And swap those out. Now we should have a thing where your heel roll does what we want. Toe rub out, or heel rub out, does what we want. Amazing. I will put this back where it started and see what happens if I do the switch. Nothing. That is exactly what I want. Hooray. Interestingly, this one seems to not do anything completely insane when I heel roll. Yeah, so like this one isn't doing the weird thing. Like this is what I want, where it doesn't take all of this stuff with it for the toe. So I might just sort of casually reset that up. Every once in a while, for some reason, stuff just doesn't work when you do a rig, I've found. So I will just sort of, again, go through and reset up everything. And I think actually what I might try really quick is just doing break connection for just all of this and see what happens if, yeah, so like that's still tweaking out. So I might actually at this point just need to sort of redo the entire leg, which is a bummer. But before I do that, let me just double check that like this knee joint and this, so like for some reason this has a rotation on it that it shouldn't. Interesting that the left leg IK has rotation attached to something. It was a little weird. Yarhar. Alright, so I think what I am going to do, and it's gonna suck, is actually just, you know what, I'm actually just gonna delete this IK handle on my right leg. And alright, I'm gonna save this because I might break the entire rig. So here's just me doing weird troubleshooting. So here we go with the right hip. There's a rotation for some reason of 0. This now has a rotation of like 4. And I'm just gonna go down that chain and make sure I will delete all of the constraints on this and just make sure that these are all zeroed out. So hopefully by doing this, it is now in the same spot and I won't need to go back in and reset up all that node editor stuff. I will do skeleton, create IK handle. I do want to make sure this is a rotation plane solver and go from the hip to the ankle. That will do IK right leg. And I should then be able to go through and hook this up with a point constraint like I did before. Let us, first of all, check that the IK handle is working. It does appear to be, and I will swap between these, which is also working. And I think I undid all of this stuff. Yes, okay, so I need to rehook that up, but I can live with that. That is significantly more preferable to me, I think, than, let me turn off the right hip. It's much more preferable than having to remake the entire leg, which sometimes happens. When in doubt, again, if you can't figure it out, usually quicker to remake it than try to troubleshoot it. I've just done enough rigs where it's not completely awful for me to actually troubleshoot it. Okay. Don't know why that keeps popping the joint. Driving me nuts. Parent constraint. Joints look fine. Double check switch. Again, when in doubt, always good to just double check, make sure nothing's like tweaking out. So I should then be good. I do need to attach, so I'm gonna grab that. I need to take the right ball and constrain the right leg to that. And it looks like that may have done something weird. Maybe? It didn't. It was just like a weird graphical thing. Okay, so I should be good, I think, at this point. If I play with this, it's kind of like doing what I want. I just gotta grab the toes and reconstrain that. So now if I move this, we have what we want. And if I grab the heel, oh my god, why? Alright. So I might just actually reset up that entire side of the body because it's really starting to get on my nerves, honestly. Something is getting double transformations in here. I just don't know what. But it's very, very frustrating. Like this is like flipping. But on the bright side, we've fixed the other weird issue. So I think what I might do is I'm just gonna remake. What is this? What is this strange rotation value here? I know the other one had a rotation value. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and reset up this entire side of the foot area from scratch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete all of that, actually. Double check and just make sure that my my switch looks good. Okay, check switch. Fine. And go through and I'll just straight up make new null groups for everything because I don't want to deal with this weird nonsense. So I will do right ball, right toe. Actually, let's do a new group, and I want the skin for this. I will. Oh, okay. I was like, oh my god, why is that foot bent? Ah! I was like, I bent it. That's why it's bent. Tippy toe. Right heel. Usually the foot is like the easiest, most fun thing for me to set up because it's just like instant gratification, and now it's just like I want you to suffer. So that's always fun, I guess. Put that back where it should be. Alright, so we have the toe and the ball. They go under the tippy toe goes under heel, and we need to make that little single chain IK handle. So from ankle to ball, and I will call this IK right foot, and that goes under the ball of the foot. And I can just go ahead and hide that. Alright, let me just... Hey! I don't know what happened, but it seems to be working now. Hooray! Or something. Don't forget, I do also need, like if I rotate this ball, nothing's happening. I need to take this ball and constrain the leg to it. So grab the ball joint, grab the leg IK handle, constrain, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do a parent constraint. So now if I do this, it is doing the thing. Just gonna double check the stupid heel again. That's not exploded. That's exciting. Alright, so it'll grab this and this whole heel group and just parent that under my control. And also go through and don't forget to constrain the... I'm just gonna use parent constraints for now because I'm honestly really terrified of the stupid orient constraints. Do that, and hopefully this should give us a nice ball roll. We have our tippy toe functionality, all that good stuff, and it appears to be not exploded. So, still don't know what actually caused that. but we are going to continue like it never happened. And basically I will just hook up the rest of the stuff like I did before. I don't think there's anything else inherently important I need to go over in this one. I do apologize for how absurdly rambly this was. Usually I do not have this many issues with setting this stuff up, but there you have it. This is the part of rigging that nobody shows you or that everyone edits out of the video, because it's long and it is very, very tedious. So, alright. So again, just going and hooking all this stuff up systematically and kind of mindlessly, honestly. Just make sure you put the right rotation with the attribute you are actually looking for. Let's grab the ball joint, rotate Z, toe, rotate Z, and tippy toe, rotate of Y. Alright, so let us twist, does what we want. Heel roll, does what we want. Rub out, does what we want, doesn't explode the toe. Does what we want. Yes! Yes! Haha! Ladies and gentlemen, we now have functional IKFK legs. Oh, sweet Lord, why? Oh, that's why, because I don't think for the legs I set up, so remember when I was like, they should be attached to here, but they're not. The stupid stickiness you gotta turn on, and I don't know why that's a thing. If it behaves like this for you normally, awesome. My computer just exploded and is making me cry. So one thing you will notice is, like, this should not be doing whatever it's doing, and I think I've probably forgotten to orient constraint something. So my guess would be that if I clicked on this, there is no orient constraint for this ankle. So what I'm going to do, grab the controller, grab the ankle, constrain. I'm pretty sure that I've left this. Great. So we now have, hopefully, a actual functional rig with, like, real bendy limbs. And if we take this and we switch it back to 0 or FK, it goes back to FK functionality and doesn't tweak out and go insane. Yes, good. I think that's it. This is my switch on this one, and I've done bad and I've not hooked this up to anything. So I'll probably go back and remake that because it'll actually bother me. So we have triple leg setup, simple setup. I think, apart from just reorganizing the outliner, this is pretty much all I have for you. The only other thing I'm going to do is just hide this IK handle and throw that back under my IK handle group, and you should be good. So in our outliner we have group for everything because it's just organized, master control layer with joints, pieces of constrained geometry, so not bound skin, just like constrained with a literal constraint, any of your controls, and the extra joints, basically extension of the skeleton, the extra joints for just like the IK, FK switch that we set up in the legs. Outside of the master control, you have any of your actual IK handles and the flesh of your character. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a completed rig. I am sorry that took so long, but that is the thing. Hooray, I'm very excited to be done with this. I've been working on this for like 6 hours, so yeah.